What makes Seven Samurai great? I'm not going to be the one to answer that question. The final word on that discussion. No way. I don't have that. What I do have, though, is it's not a unique or special admiration of Seven Samurai, because I think that's what I love about Seven Samurai is when you watch Seven Samurai, it's like you can feel everyone who's loved it over the years. It's like you intuitively, spiritually, telepathically understand. It's like you can imagine yourself in the seat of anyone who's seen it in a cinema over the years, since its release in 1954 to re-screenings in the decades following, showings on television. You can understand why this film is so formative to so many people, and what a magical moment it is for... Seven Samurai was such a formative picture for numerous individuals as an introduction to world cinema. This changed many people's lives, I think. Those of you who have seen Seven Samurai are thinking, oh yeah, I love that film. Yeah, good on you, I suppose. Those of you who haven't seen it, I imagine you're thinking, oh yeah, I've always been meaning to get onto that. It's a shame I haven't. Yes, it is. For your sake, watch the bloody thing. This is like... It's like me telling you to go outside and see the sun for the first time. Kurosawa once said that about Satyajit Ray's films, although I think, so I certainly feel that way about Satyajit Ray's films, but I also feel that way about Kurosawa's best films. I don't want to have to sit here and try and sell Seven Samurai for those who haven't seen it, because if you seriously sit down and watch it, and I mean take it seriously, and don't go into it with this whole, alright, I have to be euphoric in every minute, otherwise it's overrated. Don't do this. Don't do that. Watch it passively. You sit there, beginning, middle, end. Sit through the intermission. Don't fast forward it. Just don't. Just because I requested it. Sit through the entire film. Assess it. A year after you've seen the film, you're going to be thinking that is one of the greatest things you've ever experienced. And honestly, if not, well, then a year from now, dislike this video. And unsubscribe, or do whatever you need to do. Frankly, it didn't seem my place to compose a piece assessing the quality of Seven Samurai, because, well, for me it speaks for itself. There's a part of me which also feels as though, well, obviously this is one of the most documented and talked about, academically written about pictures of all time, and for good reason. I don't know what I felt like I could add to this film, because it's the spellbinding epic. It begins, it ends. We have some of the most defined, entertaining, and charismatic characters of all time. The cinematography, superlative. This is one of the great graces of black and white photography in the history of moving pictures, just period. We all know that. Anyone who's seen it knows that. A film which is the culmination of many great American westerns, the culmination of obviously the outstanding tradition of Japanese cinema up to that point, 1954, and the genesis of many things we love following subsequently in Japanese cinema, and also of course, our dear friend George Lucas in Star Wars and everything at that let loose. So what makes Seven Samurai great? Cinematography, narrative highs, charismatic performances, music which is just some of the most uplifting. The opening credits gets me so psyched. All it takes is there's something about that particular rhythmic track they've put over the opening credits. Unbelievable. So what else to share about Seven Samurai? If you've seen the film, I don't know what I can tell you about it. If you haven't seen the film, I just want you to watch it. I suppose people needed to be reminded of Seven Samurai for no other reason than it is what it is. What we have is the encapsulation of all things filmically epic, everything which we. The great passions, the power, the motion picture realized as the ultimate art form, the ultimate trip, this experience which affects us in every memory henceforth after we've viewed it. That's Seven Samurai. There you go.